Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Kingston joint meeting of the Heritage Area Commission and the Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I'm the Planning Director for the City of Kingston. Today is February 2nd, Groundhog Day, yay, 2023. I don't know if he saw a shadow or not. I haven't heard. He did. Okay. We are starting the meeting at 6:34. We will start with a Pledge of Allegiance, so if everybody would please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we get started, just a couple of points. If you need a restroom, they're off to my right here, men's to the front of the building, women's to the back. We ask that everybody please silence your cell phones. If you do have any conversations that need to be had, we just ask that you take them outside of the council chambers. There are conference rooms on either side of the building, either side of either this room here. Lastly, if we do need to exit for emergency purpose, we just ask that you do not use the elevator and use the stairs. If you need assistance, we will help you. And with that, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Chairman of the Heritage Area Commission, Bonnie Howland, to introduce her commission members and adopt the minutes from the January meeting.
Thank you. So I'm Bonnie Howland. Did everyone have a chance to read the minutes from last week? Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, I'm sorry. Members of the commission, you want to introduce yourselves?
Eddie Morano.
Janet Moore.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns on the minutes for last week's meeting, or last month's meeting, rather?
No.
No? So do I hear a motion to adopt the meetings as presented for the January 5th meeting?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's on the table. Any discussion? No?
No.
Right. So, Nettie?
Aye.
Aye.
Janet? And I, Bonnie Howland, aye.
Good evening. I'm Mark Grunblatt. I chair Historic Landmark Preservation Commission. I'll ask HLPC members to introduce themselves. I'll go this way.
Andrea Putz, architect of the commission.
Robert Tonner, Commissioner.
Eddie Morano, Commissioner.
Thank you. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from our January meeting? Are there any corrections or additions from a HLPC member? All right. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Robert. Do I have a second?
Second, Eddie Morano.
Thank you, Nettie. I'll call the roll. Andrea?
I have to recuse since I was absent from last meeting.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. Does this mean we'll have to bring it up next month? Not a biggie. All right. I think we are hopping into one of yours right off the bat, a bit out of order.
I think so. I think we're trying to jump. We're going to just kind of rearrange a little bit, do one of the Heritage Area Commissions for 176, 178 Wall Street. Hi. It's the very, very last.
It's the last one in your notes.
Hi, how are you? Figured since you brought the party that you might want to bring the party home. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your...
Can you just please, you need to push the button and make it green. There you go.
There you go.
Property?
We are rehabilitating a property at 176, 178 Wall Street. We've, in one apartment that we're working on currently, we replaced 5 windows, far more energy efficient. The old windows were simple single pane windows, and
not in the working condition. They were not, I don't think that we were able to open them, and cracked.
Correct, right. And so they are in the back of the house and on the side of the house. They don't face the street. They're not aesthetically really important as far as we thought. We just want to have approval for the replacement windows.
Just so you know, they're behind your head too. There's a picture of it up there. So as you're talking, it's beautifully flashing behind your head.
And we kept the front windows because those have the stained glass
Yeah.
features.
Yeah, they have like a transom
Yeah.
stained glass in the front, which is really a nice feature.
Nothing's really, as from an aesthetic standpoint, in our opinion, there's really nothing that's changed the look of the house. It's just made the house better and more.
Is the intent to continue to replace the balance of the windows, or were those already replaced?
When we bought the house, there were a handful that had been replaced. It's a hodgepodge of
Okay.
what we bought. So, yeah, but and we have, the point being is that in the front, we won't change the look. On the backs and the sides, I don't know, do you happen to remember if they're all new?
No,
We didn't change them.
we didn't change them. The only reason why we're changing these, the prior owner didn't change them probably is because
The
tenant
tenants?
that was there for 25 years, and I don't think
Okay.
that's why.
Pretty straightforward to me.
Yes.
Right? So is this a type 2? So someone on the Heritage Area Commission want to make a motion to accept this as a type 2 action under seeker?
Janet Moore, so moved.
By your second?
Nettie Morano, second.
Questions amongst now? So all in favor? Janet?
Aye.
Eddie?
Aye.
And I, Bonnie, vote aye. So do I hear a motion to approve the replacement of the windows on the back of the building as presented tonight?
Nettie Morano.
Second for
Janet Moore, second.
questions or comments to move forward? All right. So Janet? Okay.
Aye.
Eddie? And I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. You're all set. Quick
All
and
set.
painless.
Outstanding, yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like doing that over and over again. Like, this is so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, we have to go back to number 2, though. That's the form-based code. We have to set a date for the recommendation.
All right, for members of HLPC, next item on the agenda for us is setting a hearing on
Not a
the
hearing.
amendments to the,
Not a hearing. You have to make a recommendation on the new form-based code to the Common Council. Under the current code, to amend the zoning code requires referral to the county planning board when it's impacted, the city planning board at all times, and to the Landmarks Preservation Commission when that is impacted. Obviously, doing a citywide rezoning impacts all 3. So Landmarks is one of the agencies that does need to make a formal recommendation.
what's the timetable that Common
It's-
Council's working with?
Well, the planning board is holding workshop sessions right now. We're working with the council to do some workshops. And so my recommendation would be just to take a night for the Landmarks Commission. Certainly Heritage members are welcome to join. And do a workshop session just review your sections of what is being brought into the new code. A lot of it is really just being brought forward without any changes, but I still feel that you want to take some time and review those sections. They all are online. I think we gave that to you already on engagekingston.com. Some of you have already started reviewing it for other purposes, but I think, as a commission, you need to make a recommendation. If you want to just make a blanket recommendation to endorse it, you can do that, or you can be more specific and look at it, read it, and if you have any comments, if you don't have to stay just within your section too, let me just say that. If you want to, if there are other elements of the code that you feel impact the Landmarks Commission or the districts or landmarks themselves, then certainly feel free to bring those forward also.
All right, so would it, need to be a public?
It does have to be public, yes,
So what are our
yes.
notice requirements on that?
Same as a normal meeting, which is fairly easy for us to pull together. It's 5-day notice, but I mean, we can do something because we do everything electronically. It would just be making sure that we have a meeting room. I did look at meetings on the city's calendar. We could probably do something next Thursday at 6:30, if you'd like to do something then. I don't know what everybody's, I can send something out tomorrow. We had, I think Patrick had sent out an email asking everybody to look at your calendars and come with dates. I don't know if anybody has any tentative dates you'd like to throw out there to consider.
Yeah. I'm
Same,
open.
same for me, yeah.
Good, good, okay. So we'll look at next Thursday at 6:30 and we'll confirm with you.
And if you could check in with Kevin,
Yeah,
if he's feeling any better, we'd love to have him.
yeah.
He is a
And I-
master of the overview.
I believe
Also,
that's the
when,
9th, right?
for the rest of you,
Thursday's the
when
9th.
reviewing, because our code got pasted into the city code in 3 separate chunks, it's already kind of internally inconsistent. And I expect that one of my comments is going to be, is how have you fixed it with what you've done so far? Because I haven't seen a lot of that.
I think that they basically just brought what was there into the new code for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they made any changes. So now is an opportunity for you to clean it up. And that should come from your commission. If you have, constructive, changes to make it more, make it consistent, then this is what we need to hear from you.
Okay, so in reviewing it, I would just ask the HLPC members pay some attention to that particular problem. And just because you've read one section about HLPC doesn't mean you've gotten them all. I believe there are 3 separate hunks of the city code that we need to focus on.
Well, this is just in the zoning code. That's all we're talking about. There are places in the city code where historics is discussed, but we're only talking about the zoning code being updated. But if those sections are inconsistent with what's in the zoning, then yeah, we should identify them. It wouldn't be part of this change, but it would be something potentially that would come forward at a later date.
Okay, so we're aiming for next Thursday, assuming all goes well. We'll see you in a week. Do we need a formal motion to set that?
No.
Great. All right, moving right along, 71 Abeal.
No, 311 Wall.
311 Wall is up first. I'm sorry, I'm looking at a backwards list.
Wait,
Kyla, you sent me the PNOAs in reverse order. Okay, 311 Wall Street, I'm sorry.
are there some decision docs floating here?
All right.
Can you please turn your mics on? Thank you.
We printed out a few copies of the detail that we submitted.
All right, if you would reintroduce yourselves and give us a quick overview.
Paul Jankovitz, architect.
Corbin Plays, designer.
So tonight we're discussing the exterior of 311. We presented a month ago, and there were a couple open issues. One was the awnings on the rear of the building and the configuration of the awnings and the structure of the awnings, and then the fabric that we were going to use on those awnings. There was also a question about our archaeologist, and I submitted all that information to the planning office. And I think there's any questions on her credentials or any questions about the company.
I know, Paul, you were in earlier to look at the additional documentation that Kyla had brought out of our files. We'd like the archaeologist to take a look at that too, because of the other locations of past building structures. The trenching may be extended to those other locations where you have some, where you'll also be doing the excavation for the dry well. Okay. So it might modify her plan slightly, which I think that the commission can probably allow staff to confirm and review, but I think she should look at that as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember those buildings coming down about 25 years ago.
You're about right.
Yeah, okay. At that time, it was a battle over them. One of them in particular had been a hotel, and there was a fairly famous guest list going back to shortly after the Revolution. So if you are bumping into that building in particular, it later became the bus terminal for a while before it became decrepit and was torn down.
I think all our operations occur outside of those limits. I looked at those plans yesterday, matter of fact, in your offices, and where we're going to dig is to the east of that area. But we will have it all staked out and verified, and we'll have someone from your department or yourself come out in the field
Right.
to review,
Okay.
before we put a shovel in the ground.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate in this case. Yeah, because I believe that report actually indicated that, how was it written with the, when they were demoing that report, there was something in there thought I saw something about potential future digging and archaeological investigation work.
Yes, in the future, we will be doing more extensive rework to that parking area because our plan is to contain all the roof runoff in that area, okay, to collect it in basically large tanks under the parking lot. So in the future, not at this phase of work, but in the future, we want to solve that problem that I discussed with Ed Norman,
Right.
that we're, sheet draining into the street, Ground Street.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions from an HLPC member?
Fabric.
Right, you had asked for that at the last meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Very similar to the green that was there before when it was the billiard parlor.
Yes, so we looked into all the greens that they had. They're a little bit limited. This is Sunbrella. They're very good exterior awning company. And this is rated for outdoor use. And this is probably the closest to that one. And it was also, for the ownership, most appealing.
So do we need to add this to the PNOA? I think we do.
Yep.
So if you could pass it back to me.
I wrote it down.
Okay. All right. Any further questions? All right. Hearing none. I will move that the commission find as fact that the proposed renovations and restoration at 311 Wall Street in the Stockade Historic District by applicant 311 Wall Street LLC, if done according to the plans and presentation of materials reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-64 of the City of Kingston's Administrative Code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The Wall Street facade will remain largely intact with new lettering to reflect the historic character of the previous Woolworth signage with individual letters
Seeker.
measuring.
You didn't do seeker. Let's do it
I'll
just
do
read
I'll
it
back
and
up.
then,
I'll
right,
back
yeah.
up for seeker. Thank you for the reminder. We'll be measuring 3 foot by 3 foot LED backlit, constructed with a metal base and chrome finish and cast resin, lettering face, color to match the historic red. The individual lettering will spell out Kingston Studios with a total length of 60 feet. Signage for future tenants in the Wall Street retail spaces will return to the HLPC for review and approval under the existing guidelines of the Pike Plan. Crown Street signage will include lettering depicting number 311. The signage will be 4 foot 1 inch by 21 feet 10 inches and will be backlit, post-mounted to the brick with masonry anchors. The lettering will be sheet metal with chrome finish. The awning will also be added over the rear entrance, printed with Kingston Studios in Erin Green, number 4600-0000 from Sunbrella. Hudson Cultural Services Limited, under the leadership of Beth Selig, MA, RPA, will be the professional archaeologist overseeing work and responsible for a qualified archaeologist to be present on site during any and all excavation activity. The submitted plan for work, including a map for excavation and a plan for inventory, cataloging, and documentation and retention of unearthed materials and artifacts, scope of work and plan for action if significant artifact is discovered, is hereby accepted and will be strictly adhered to at all times, and may be modified as site conditions dictate with staff approval. The parking area contains 2 locations specified for food trucks. These spaces will be occupied in coordination with special events and are not intended to be permanent locations or for the general public. No outside seating is proposed. Landscaping will be added to the rear parking area with locations and species finalized with the planning board in their site plan review. Any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by the Commission prior to additional work being carried out. The Commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this second day of February 2023, our Commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant and owner for the work as attached herein and in its application to the Commission. Such a notice subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second?
First do the seeker. Just move back to the seeker first, and then you can do
Okay.
the second.
All right. Hold that in abeyance. I am tabling my motion. And backing up, I will entertain a motion to declare this decision a Type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Andrea Pute, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Robert Tonner, second.
Thank you. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Nettie? I also vote in the affirmative. Now, moving back to the
Thank you.
tabled motion. Do I hear a second?
Second,
Aye. Oh,
Andrea Pute.
Thank you, Andrea. All right. Is there any further discussion on the pending motion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Robert?
aye.
Nettie? I also vote in the affirmative. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
We
you.
look forward
Thank
to
you very much.
finding out. And if you find any little steel balls like this, that's from the British bombarding the place in 1777. Hang on to it.
Yes.
They're all over uptown,
Wow.
usually embedded in people's cellar walls, but you may come across some of that.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, 93 Fair Street.
They have to, or
Oh.
do you want to do your HAC on this?
That makes sense. Why don't we move
Yep.
to that?
They don't, no, I don't think so. You have to do it.
Do we do a seeker and then an advisory?
Yep.
Yep.
71.
All right, so for that previous one, do I hear a motion from the HAC to claim it as a type 2 action under seeker?
Eddie Morano, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Janet Moore.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie? Aye. Bonnie, I vote aye. And then do I hear a motion to support the previous HLPC motion, preservation of notice of action?
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Eddie Morano, second.
Any discussion on that one? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. I'll switch it up. Nettie?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
And I'm Bonnie, I vote aye. Now, we'll get our stuff together. What we have to do is each time the HLPC has to go, and then the AJC, so hang out, they'll go, then we'll go, then you're good.
All right. Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. If you would introduce yourself and give us a quick overview of the project.
Yeah, hi, good evening. My name is Jesse Meisler Abramson. I am with Plum Buildings. We did the drafting on the project under Lee Frizzell, who's the architect of record. It is a single-family residence on Abeal Street. Most of the work is an interior renovation. There will be moving of interior stairs, moving interior walls, some plumbing and electric work related. We are here to discuss the addition of some new Anderson A-series windows, as well as a replacement front door. All of the windows and doors have been selected to match either what is there in size and style. They'll have colonial split light windows, and there's not a whole lot visible from the street
Right.
as far as the front of the building is concerned, minus the front door exchange.
In your notes, you'll see, and it's up on the, well, not now, but we found an old picture of this building.
Oh, great.
Not a whole lot to really look at.
Pretty plain.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. So yeah, it looks like the three front windows on the second floor remain.
Right.
Clear
Yeah.
glass.
Right. Let's think about seeker first. I will entertain a motion to declare this a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Andrea Putz, moved.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second, Robert Tonner.
Thank you kindly. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. All right. Now on any questions for the applicant on the underlying application? The one question I had was what's happening with the side light panels on the front door?
Front door. We're not changing the size, we're just gonna replace the glass, just for a double pane.
Any other questions for our applicant? All right, then I move that the commission find as fact that the proposed window and door replacement and stabilization work at 71 Abeal Street in our Rondout Historic District by applicant Alex Kahn and Florian Dumont, probably, if done according to the plans and presentation of materials reviewed at this meeting, and according to the procedures stipulated in Section 405-64 of the City of Kingston's Administrative Code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The owners are replacing existing vinyl windows with Anderson A-Series low E2 in exterior white and interior clear coat pine. 3 windows will be double hung 6/6, 1 double hung not divided, 2 casement with 12 panes, 2 casement with 9 panes, and 1 single casement under the roof overhang. The front door will be Simpson F 73944U-W with 9-panel glass and side light panels. The rear door will be an Anderson slide 4 panel. Any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. The Commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on the second day of February 2023, our Commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant and owner for the work as described herein and in its application to our Commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second?
Nettie Morano, second.
Thank you, Nettie. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll, and Nettie, I'll go your direction. I'm taking your cue, Bonnie. Robert.
Aye.
Andrea.
Aye.
I also vote yes. Thank you kindly.
Okay.
Gonna get it right this time. So do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker from a Heritage Area Commission member?
Janet Morris, so moved.
Do I hear a second? Any questions, comments, concerns on that? No, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
And I vote aye. I'm Bonnie. And then do I hear a motion to accept, you can help me out with the language again? Preservation notice of action as discussed from the Historic Landmarks Preservation Committee?
Nettie Morano, so moved.
Do I hear a second on that?
Janet Moore.
Questions, comments, concerns? Oh, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
And I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
All right. By process of elimination, 93 Fair Street. Hi, if you turn your microphone on, introduce yourself and give us a little background about your project.
Hello, yes, my name is Ryan Arquette. I'm renovating 93 Fair Street, and I was here earlier, a couple months ago, but this time around, I'm proposing swapping out the windows for historical replicas, Pella Reserve windows, and also to remove the chimney because we're renovating the inside of the house, taking walls down, and kind of reconfiguring a couple walls, and so I want to take the chimney down in the middle. So the chimney, that was actually, I proposed the one right on Fair Street, and then that one, yeah, this is the one for the middle of the house, and it no longer serves the purpose because I'm no longer using that heating system. But the first time around was the chimney.
Right,
that
the
right
one showing
smack
in
dab
front, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the front of the house there.
Chimney facing Fair Street will be removed.
Okay, so yeah, I'll amend that language.
So existing chimney in the middle of the structure is what you're telling us.
Center, in center.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions for the applicant?
Robert, can you just turn your mic on? I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. How did you determine that the windows need to be replaced?
So after doing further research, I found out that it's rare that you can't restore a window, but it's just a matter of what that's going to entail and what's the cost. It comes down to what the cost is going to be to restore that. So I mean, it's buying these pellet windows in particular. These are like the top of line replicas for traditional historic windows. You even can get credits from the national. On the National Register for tax credits. But so yeah, these aren't cheap either, but it had to do with the energy efficiency and just the cost benefit.
The gutters are all the way around the building or just on the ones, I had a hard time telling where they are.
So right now, it's kind of like the corner. It's kind of like where this two, the kind of the middle corner in that photo. But then the new gutters are gonna go around the whole, the complete all that, the exterior.
Any other questions for the applicant?
I guess the only thing would be the other work that we talked about for the exterior restoration of the stucco and all of that, that's going to continue as you originally proposed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I then move that our commission find as fact that the proposed renovations and restoration.
Seeker.
Ah!
I tried to slip it in there like.
All right. Thank you. I will entertain a motion to declare this a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
So moved. Andrea Putz.
Do I hear a second?
Second, Robert.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Andrea?
Aye.
Robert?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
I agree. All right. I now move that the commission find as fact that the proposed renovations and restoration at 93 Fair Street in the Fair Street Historic District by applicant Ryan Arquette, if done according to the plans and presentation of materials reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-64 of the City of Kingston's Administrative Code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The existing stucco will be repaired and painted with Benjamin Moore Woodlawn Blue HC 147. The existing windows will be replaced with Pella Reserve aluminum-clad wood windows in black. The existing chimney the existing chimney at the middle of the structure will be removed to bring back the original facade. New rounded gutters will be added, and the existing aluminum fascia will be painted Benjamin Moore Hale Navy HC 154. The roof will be replaced with GAF Timberline Natural Shadow Charcoal Architectural Shingles. The exterior doors and garage door will be painted in Benjamin Moore Hale Navy HC 154. Any changes or additions to the plans or works specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to that work being carried out. The Commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the amended proceeding findings of fact, I move that on the second day of February 2023, our Commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant and owner for the work as described herein and in his application to the Commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second?
Before, Andrea Putz speaking, before we move that, could you mind going back over the section about the chimney? Just something didn't sound right with the chimney in reference to the facade.
There were originally, if I understand correctly, 3 or 2? 2.
Right.
One we had given approval for its removal, and that's the one that faced most directly on Fair Street.
Right, but
this
the
is
reference
more in the middle of the structure.
Right, and I follow that, but the reference to it from being central to looking at it on the front facade, it just didn't. One didn't lead to the other in how it was termed. That's all.
I think I understand.
If I can just make a note here, what we tried to do with the PNA is to blend it to make it an amended preservation notice of action so that it will replace effectively the old one. So I caught that too. I think
Okay.
it should read that the existing chimneys, okay, one facing Fair and one in the center of the structure will be removed, bringing back the original
Okay.
facade. Okay?
Okay, I will hereby amend my motion to restate that the existing chimneys, one facing Fair Street and the other in the middle of the structure, will be removed to bring back the original facade. All right, do I have a second for the amendment of the motion?
Second.
Thank you. I will now proceed to a vote on the motion as amended. All right. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie? Aye. Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. Thank you. Hang on.
Hang on. So we just got to go through my round.
Oh, that's
So for the Heritage Area Commission, do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second? That motion's on the floor. Any just further discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. And do I hear a motion to approve the preservation notice of action or the amended preservation notice of action presented from the HLPC?
Morano, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Janet Moore.
On the floor, any discussion between you? No? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
And I'm Bonnie. I vote aye.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you just into table number 5.
Hey, Sue, can I do something really strange here? I need to ask you a question, and in private, can I do that?
Yeah.
All right. On 5 Abeal Street, I need to let folks know that we are not going to be considering that this evening. If you're here on 5 Abeal Street, you can set that aside, since we would lack quorum to deal with it. So I am going to move to table, and I will hold the vote open until Robert returns. But I would appreciate a second. Aha. So you're recusing yourself from this
Again.
provision, meaning that I don't even have to formally have to move to table this one, because we can't vote to do that. So it is tabled by lack of quorum. Thank you.
Awkward.
Mike Job can't do that.
All right. Moving quietly along, I think you are up next.
Yeah, because then you, when he comes back, then you adjourn the HLPC, we just, the HAC.
Right, when Robert comes back, I can do that. But you can continue in our lack of quorum state. Oh, having returned.
So without them having a quorum on appeal, they can't even make a motion to table it, right? They don't have enough people to.
I'd have to recuse myself.
Yeah, I so announced.
So then they make a motion.
Oh, not mine. Oops.
All right.
Yep, hang on a second. So we're just tabling till March.
Thank you.
Okay, this goes up. Okay.
All right. So, that being our last item on the HLPC agenda, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Robert.
Do I hear a second?
Second, Andrea Putz.
Thank you. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie? Robert?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote to adjourn. Thank you kindly. See you in a week.
Is there a full moon out?
Oh, I can blame this on the stars.
At least it's clear.
So now we're going to just take up the Heritage Area Commission applications. Our first one is 693 to 701 Broadway.
He's actually not here, so if you want,
Skip over that one.
you can skip to people that are here and then sing back.
Let's see, do we have 541, 545 Broadway? Yay, come on over.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Tyson from Timely Signs. This thing is on here. We're proposing to reface the existing sign on Broadway as shown here. Does anybody have a drawing available? I have a couple extras. Yep. So just looking to reface that sign from Ulster Uniform to UniFirst. As shown, the dimensional letters on a flat background. So it's kind of similar to the existing sign that's there now, which is kind of carved for dimension. It's just done in a little bit different fashion. And this is their company logo and company color.
Any thoughts on, so it's not illuminated?
It is not. Nope.
It is not.
The structure is staying the same. No
They
changes to
don't
any
feel
of that.
that they need it to have any lighting or
Wasn't
any,
discussed. I mean,
Okay.
if I suggest that, we would have to come back, I think, for
Okay.
that at a later date.
no thought on like landscaping around the base of that? or
They just
doing
want to leave everything
just-
as is and just put a new face in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd area to work in, to be honest with you. So it's kind of like you almost don't want to disturb it. I mean, the structure is strong, but it's just, having to try to work on that and dig into it's going to be a lot more of an expense to get into that. So
There's no like reflectivity, if that's even a word, in the sign itself. It's just
not at all.
straightforward.
Nope,
Okay.
satin finish on the backer, and the letters are likely going to be matte or satin as well.
Okay.
Yeah, not a fan of gloss. And it is double-sided, so it's seen from both sides of Broadway there. Or both directions, excuse me.
Any other questions for Tyson from commission members? No? Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
Morano, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Janet Moore, second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie? And I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. And do I hear a motion to accept as submitted this signage at 541, 545 Broadway as presented by Tyson from Timely Signs?
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Morano, second.
That motion's on the floor. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Nettie? Janet?
Aye.
I'm Bonnie. I vote aye.
All right, thanks,
Quick and
everybody.
painless.
Have a
Thanks,
great evening.
Tyson.
Good seeing everyone.
I like. Really? All right. Let's see, do we have someone here from 484 Broadway? Hi. Good. You just push the button so it's green and tell us a little bit about I'm sorry, yeah, can you tell me your name?
My name is Jason Van Aken.
Hi, Jason.
I am 1/3 of a partnership opening a tattoo shop at 484 Broadway. I am here seeking approval for exterior signage and window treatments.
Behind your head too, we have pictures up there. Is it all fall into, oh, you guys are gonna make it so easy on us for you tonight.
Tried very hard.
Are there any questions among?
I just have a comment. Based on this design, the sign seems kind of large. I mean, proportionally.
It's actually the existing
Is it?
sign is that size.
All the framework is already there. We're just
Yeah.
And it's illuminated from the arm lamps that are
Overheads,
above it?
pointing
Yeah, I
at the
think
building,
the
correct.
brightness that it's showing here might be a little bit why it looks so large. Yeah. Yeah.
popped out at me, then I guess it's just.
Yeah,
fine.
no,
Drive
they're
by there all the
using the
time.
existing size and the existing gooseneck lighting that's there is going to be used as
Awesome.
well, so.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good on it.
Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
Morano, so move.
Here a second?
Second, Janet Moore.
Questions, further comments, anything on that? I'll call the roll. Nettie? Janet?
Aye.
I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. What's that? Oh. Do I hear a motion to approve the installation of a street-facing sign and the borders on the windows and as presented tonight for 484 Broadway?
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Nettie Morano, second.
That motion's on the floor. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. Good
Thank you
luck.
all very,
All right,
very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Good luck.
The writing is just small.
The font.
You would want that in addition to the facing sign? Right, there are just, and there's clearance between the bottom edge of the sign and the sidewalk. So, I mean, when you get ready to do something like that, we can give you what those specs are. Okay, because it can't stand out so far from the building, that, yeah, there's certain restrictions. People here?
So it looks like the next one on our agenda is 588 Broadway. Hi. If you could introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your project. Want the green light on? Yeah, he left it on. There you go.
My name is Katarina Cowden. I have a small retail bakery, and I would like to place a projected sign perpendicular to the sidewalk. It's pretty small. It's 15 by 24. It's already been painted, and the sign bracket is 24 inches out. It's a pretty hidden little area, so I just think that having the sign that way will help with the traffic going by, because otherwise it can disappear pretty easily over there.
Like the name. And you're open now, right?
Yes.
How's business doing?
It's good. I'm only open on Sundays because I do a
Okay.
lot of wholesale and I do the farmer's market uptown. But it's been really great. And every Sunday, a good like community vibe, you know, a lot of people building it into their regular Sunday routine. So it's been
Good.
really nice. Yeah.
Good. It's good to hear.
Now that I know that, I'm going to build it into my regular Sunday routine. Twist my rubber arm.
Yes, drip coffee, tea, no espresso or anything, but You can
Yeah,
stock
I mean,
up
if
for the
shows
week,
are
you know?
going on, you might, think about that. If the UPEC has, if the Broadway
Oh,
Theater
yeah.
is open and having
Yeah.
a production, could be a little
I'm
hot
pretty much a
spot.
one-woman show, so
Might be a little-
starting slow here.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything that, does this need to have City of Kingston as additional insured?
This would, yes.
Were you already aware of that? Okay. That makes sense just because it's by the walk, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you need to give her any information on that, or is that something?
Okay. Mhm.
Any other questions on any commission members for this?
The tables and chairs, does that give enough walking ability for people going by on the sidewalk? Does that interfere?
It doesn't interfere at all because over there is like, it has all of that sidewalk and then there's all that brick too now.
Oh, okay.
It's like really, really wide. And then on the other side of that too, there's like, because that's where the bus stop is, I think.
Oh, okay.
So on the other side of the door too is where there's a city bench, just like right in the middle of the.
I don't go down Broadway a lot, so I have to reacquaint myself with where this is. Okay.
It's just past
okay.
the corner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same building as Tubby's, so you can see in the corner of that picture where the teal is.
Yep, yes,
That's Tubby's.
I gotcha.
Do I hear a motion to declare this a type 2 action under seeker?
Morano, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Janet Moore, second.
Any questions on that? Hearing none, call the roll. Nettie?
Aye.
Janet?
Aye.
Bonnie, I vote aye. And do I hear a motion to approve the signage as presented for 588 Broadway? With
covering
the,
the City of Kingston.
yeah, City of Kingston listed as additional insured.
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Nettie Morano, second.
Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Bonnie, I vote aye. Thank
you.
you.
Good
Very
luck.
important.
All right. Thank you.
About walking distance for me, so when it warms up a little bit.
On 693-701, or we're going to do 370, let's do 370 Beale Street first. Just, all you need to do is recognize officially for the record that it was here for a coastal consistency review, and it's been determined that it is a type 2 action under seeker, and therefore exempt from the coastal consistency action needed by this agency.
All right, so do I make a motion to recognize?
Yep, just recognize it as type 2.
So do I hear a motion to recognize this as a type 2 action under seeker? Because it's been recognized that it's exempt from the coastal consistency review?
Janet Moore, so moved.
Do I hear a second? Any questions on that? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Bonnie, I vote aye. Sweet. And then do we have to
Yep, we can do this
table
one.
the,
No.
oh, we can do it? Okay.
So we're going to go back to number 7.
All right, so number 7 is 693-701 Broadway, proposal to demolish freestanding garage structure and establish open green space. Applicant is Radio Kingston Corp. No, applicant is Dutton Architecture, owner is Radio Kingston Corp. So we
Right.
just need to make a motion.
No, we're going to look at this. This is the gas station at the corner of Liberty and Broadway. We've reviewed it before. Originally, they were planning to remove the gas station and rebuild a new structure. They've combined this parcel along with the octagonal building. Kyla has it up on the screen, and a building on Franklin Street now all under one parcel and one ownership. So it's one development application. And what they want to do now is they're basically just going to remove that garage and develop that entire corner there as a green space. They have not as yet made any decision as to whether or not it'll be used for like outdoor gatherings or event space, but right now it'll be just passive. So there is no lighting at this time. There is a landscaping plan which is underway, and so my recommendation would be that you approve the demolition as you are required to do under the code, and then allow planning staff to work with them to develop the landscape plan with, appropriate species, native species, and porous pavers and appropriate lighting, if
So
that's okay.
they won't have to come back again to do the landscape, okay.
Demolition right away or wait?
I think they want to get the demolition done. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, when there's, when it's, after it's down and removed, then they'll, do because they also had, if you recall, the original plan did have some significant landscaping between the brick building and the new building. So that would all then be done, hopefully this coming season, when it's.
All right, so it's an unlisted action, so I make a motion that based on the information submitted, it has been determined that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts to 693-701 Broadway.
Is that for a second? You made that.
Do I hear a second? Yep.
Janet Morris, second.
Any other questions about this at all? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. Do I need to make a motion to?
Make a motion to approve the demolition and then authorize planning
Got it.
staff to review the landscaping plan with the applicant or their representative.
So do I hear a motion to approve the demolition of the freestanding garage and establish an open green space at 693-701 Broadway, noting that when it comes to the green space and landscaping, that they will speak with the planning department to move forward on any proposals.
Janet Morris, so moved.
Do I hear a second?
Morales, second.
Motion's on the floor. Any further questions or comments on that? Hearing none, I call the roll. Nettie? Janet?
Aye.
I vote aye. I'm Bonnie.
And 1 second, I have one more thing for you guys. Sign that, pass that on. Okay, we did have one late request. It's not a complete request, but I'm waiting for additional information. It would be 397 Delaware Avenue, and it is a roof replacement. Things like this we typically try and do at desk level. However, this one is an existing slate roof that the new owner has said is in bad condition, and they do have some leaks. I've asked they want to rip off the slate, and they want to replace it with a architectural asphalt shingle. I've asked for additional information and documentation because the photographs I look at that have been submitted don't give me any documentation or support that the roof is in poor condition. They said that shingles have fallen off. I don't see any in any of the photographs. So I've asked them to submit that. What I would like to do, because you're advisory only on this, is that once I get that documentation, if I feel that it does support that there is leaking, and damage that's continuing, I can circulate it electronically and you can look at it that way. We'll advise the building department that way. But the address is 397 Delaware.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, now it's familiar.
I'm looking, I'm like, that house is familiar. Yeah. It's usually,
I mean, it's a shame to lose slate roofs and,
well, just to do crappy stuff on it.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like it's, like I said, they submitted a current photo and it doesn't look bad to me when I zoom in. So I've asked for better photos and more proof to support it because slate roofs are not, you don't see them around as often, and to just say, take it away is, you want to be careful.
So at this point, if I'm understanding this correctly, we want to make a motion for 397 Delaware to provide further photographs and information to you at the planning board for you to review, to figure out how they can move forward, and with whatever they submit, we'll circulate it electronically in order to move forward and approve or deny.
If it's considered emergency.
If it's considered emergency. So do I hear a motion on that? Do I hear a second?
Janet Morris, second.
Any other questions on that? So we'll keep our eyes peeled for something to come through electronic. Okay. Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Janet?
Aye.
Nettie? And I'm Bonnie. I vote aye. Is that good enough? Okay, cool.
Want to make a motion to adjourn?
I hear a motion to adjourn. Second?
Janet Moore.
I think we need to further discuss that. Hearing none. Call the roll. Nettie? Janet?
Aye.
I vote aye. I'm Bonnie. Thank you.